My enemies, no clot, no clot, no clot. My enemies, no clot, no clot, no clot. My enemies, no clot, no clot, no clot. My enemies,
people need to go. Freaking traffic, guys. Everybody hates traffic, especially whenever you're on your way to pick up the most badass pinnacle of an LSX. That's right. I know y'all been waiting for a very long time, and today is the MFing day, my friends. We are headed to Modern Airflow Dynamics. We are about to pull up. We got 2 minutes. We get to pick up the LSX block today. This thing is rated for like over 2,000 horsepower. We're gonna be putting it in the car here in just a little bit, and hopefully even making it to Texas 2K with this engine, which Texas 2K is actually like starting in a couple days. So I don't know why I get these wild hairs up my ass and I just decide that it's a good idea to do an engine swap a few days before Texas 2K, but that's what's happening. Wish me luck, my friends. Watch this. Guys, this is Trey. We're at Modern Airflow Dynamics. We're picking up the new engine today. Pretty excited. They're kind of in the middle of moving right now, but they still got a really sweet setup.
Stay in the trap, get racks every day. She fuck with me now. I told her to lay my hook in the water. She liking my babe. Ain't saving a hoe. I don't wear a cape. You beef with me, don't think you ever safe. I hop in the foreign and dry like a race. We sipping the Henny, I don't need a chase. We dodging the feds and catching no case. I stay in the trap, get racks every day. She fuck with me now.
That thing is nasty.
How you doing? I'm Brandon.
Sean, nice to meet you.
She fuck with me now. I told her to lay my hook in the water. She liking my babe. Ain't saving a hoe. I don't wear a cape. You beef with me, don't think you ever
Damn, even got y'all stamp on the heads. That is sick.
Did you get the hip in there? Those hip castings?
Explain to people what hipped is.
Oh, hell no. I ain't doing that right now. It's Friday.
Hip means mow better. That's all you need to know. Hip is mow better.
It's Friday. It's too late to be explaining that shit.
Mow better, mow boost, mow everything. We're gonna get this thing put in the truck, and then we're gonna go back and get this thing shoved in the car. Get this thing loaded up. That's the cheat code right there.
We sipping the Henny, I don't need a chase. We dodging the feds and catching no case. I sky on blue hunters always in my day.
If this thing blows the up, it's all their fault.
He don't mean that. He does not mean that right now.
I hop on my sleigh. I pray to God I make it home to the day. Stop trying to get me and lock me away. You act like you tough, what you trying to betray. I fuck a girl out, but she wanna stay. Since we lost the car, you gotta take care of Tay. I ask for him back every time that I pray.
First, it was my fab guy, Jason was holding my camera. Now it's Trey. My engine guy's holding my camera. Now accepting applications for a cameraman. Honestly, if you guys are local to North Louisiana, I do need help sometimes with film work and stuff like that. So if you know how to hold a camera and you want to come help me sometime, drop a comment, DM me on Instagram or something like that. Well, got this thing loaded up. Make sure you check these guys out. I'm gonna drop a link to their YouTube. I'm gonna drop a link to their Instagram, all that, all down here. If you need any work done, make sure you check out Modern Airflow Dynamics. They are actually really well known for porting heads, intakes, and blowers and all that kind of stuff. Especially if you got like a stock blower car and you're tired of it not making any power, just bring your shit up here to Modern Airflow and they'll get you hooked up. We're gonna get this thing on the road, go get it shoved in the car, try to make it before Texas 2K. I feel like it's a horrible decision, but so obviously y'all can see this thing is pretty nasty, but I'm gonna let Trey tell y'all a little bit about exactly what's inside this thing.
Sean's motor's got a set of our Brodex BR3 castings that we do, which starts as a Pro port, and then when we get them, we CNC the intake runners, basically like this right here. So we do all the CNCing on it, combustion chambers, intake runner, exhaust runner. Then we go through it. These heads do come with CHE bronze guides. We go through there, hone the guides, cut the multiple angle valve job into the cylinder heads, put some hollow stem stainless valves with some, Sean will have Inconel exhaust valves due to his setup being a turbo setup. And also on Sean's we have the chamber softening right here, the quench softening as we do. And then what these don't have that his has is a top fuel hoop receiver groove built into the head.
Yeah, we got the top fuel hoops in mine. So
yeah.
All 1/2-inch head stud too.
1/2-inch head stud, LSX block, Cali center counterweight Magnum crankshaft, Cali's Ultra Enforcer rods, our custom Wiseco's that are actually the exact duplicate of this chamber. They were made for there's my key card right there. So
hold on, what you got there? LSX 388.
yeah. Total seal ring pack, all custom done. Yeah, we get all that shit in there. So that's basically what it is. Our piston for that one is actually reflected directly off this combustion chamber that we designed.
So it's like a 3D matched piston that actually matches this combustion chamber.
Yeah, it's just like this one. You can see this one.
Oh yeah.
Right, no sharp edges, 3D pocket milling. I mean, everything's on there. Pretty much the best you can do.
What would you say comfortably this thing is rated for? The only thing holding this thing back is a steel rod, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'd take it up to 1800 wheel.
1800 wheel?
I mean, no problem.
So 2000.
Yeah, the other thing is that the heads are hipped. You know, it's not a normal set of Brodexes. It's the hip set, so it has the hot isostatic pressure done to them. So that way it's basically like the closest thing you can get to forging aluminum. After the casting's done, they send them off for processing, and basically this whole casting will shrink down slightly when it goes through the process. And then at the end result, what you get is a stronger casting that's not going to move around when we get up in power range.
So guys, like we're really serious about the goals for the Vet. You know, I said I wanted to have the fastest stick shift car out there, and that's currently 680s, and the car is light enough, and it's got literally the pinnacle of a chassis. Like this thing is nasty. So all we were missing is a badass motor. You can check that off the list. And now we're missing a turbo, but I actually just talked to a company, and we're not sure yet if it's going to work out, but we're going to be putting a really badass turbo on this thing to pair it up with this 388 and try to make right around 2000 wheel, and that should get us where our goals are for the car, good Lord willing, and as long as the thing sticks. So y'all saw the last video, we already got the car into 1/260 foots, leaving soft with a basic bitch 6.0 and a S400 turbo, all the way turned down. Like literally, this thing is gonna be a ride, dude.
It's gonna make some steam. I'm excited. Hopefully we see it at 2K.
Dude, you're gonna see it at 2K. I promise you, like I'm gonna be there at 2K. It's either it should have it in there, so we'll see. Well guys, I'm gonna get back to the house, get this thing stuffed in the Vet. Our trip here at Modern Airflow Dynamics has been concluded. Make sure you check these guys out. Alright, so we made it back to the shop. Got the Duke Bullet sitting right there. And I know y'all all think I'm crazy, including Poe, but he's down to help me. He's here today. It is, what's today, Sunday?
Yeah.
I have to be at 2K on Wednesday, and we're literally about to put that motor in that car that already has a motor. We're gonna do a whole engine swap, literally just today. Hopefully get the new Bullet fired up against our better judgment. Somebody wants to buy that motor, and honestly, I would rather sell it while I can, rather than throw 40 pounds of boost to it, risk blowing it up, and then it just being a gigantic paperweight. So that's pretty much why I've decided to go ahead and do the engine swap right now. Plus, we need all the power we can get at Texas 2K because we're gonna be running up against the baddest of the baddest. So
Sean's basically saying he's a madman.
Yeah.
And he wants all the power.
all the power. So we're gonna get this thing swapped over real quick. Look, and yeah, just so y'all can see, that is literally fully intact.
Approximately 10 hours later.
Fast forward, it's like 10 o'clock at night. I know we said we'd have the engine in the car, and we did, but we had to come right back out. And you might wonder why Po Boys has his welding machine out. And that's because we put the wrong bearing in, thinking that this was the right pilot bearing. It's definitely not. We need the one that goes a little bit deeper. So he's about to weld to it with a slide hammer, pop that one out. And then we have the right pilot bearing.
The next day.
Guys, it has been a long freaking night, a long next day. Po had to leave Georgia, but I got my homie Austin with me today, and boom! Yes, she is complete, except for the charge pipe. We're about to go to Taylor's to get this charge pipe fabbed up. By the way, we're leaving for Texas 2K literally like in the morning. I know we're cutting it really close here because you haven't even seen this thing fire up yet, and that's because it hasn't. And that's what we're about to do right now, is get this thing fired up for the very first time. I nominate you to be my cameraman.
I'm excited, man. I'm anxious.
By the way, Rustin just guessed this tune file, and he just sent it over. He said this would be something good to start up on. So we're gonna try it out. Fingers crossed this goes well.
Moment of truth.
Moment of truth. All right, you ready?
Ready.
I think we might figure something out, possibly. Now crack the throttle blade.
Okay.
Whenever I'm starting it. I was telling him to crack the throttle blade. No! thing idles perfect.
Sounds nice,
Doesn't
dude.
it? Hey,
Yeah.
Mr. Rustin, you did pretty good on that startup tune for not even knowing what you were getting into.
I appreciate that.
This is the MFing man right here. He needs to be your tuner. Look, he's gonna tell me to stop telling people that because you're gonna start getting so many calls. I'm putting his phone number in the freaking description. Hey, that thing sounds rowdy.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
Let's go, dude.
Ooh, got that new ink. Let me see that.
Look at that.
Ooh.
You know, just trying to.
Got the tiger.
Bougie.
Let's let her idle and get up to temp. She got oil pressure, so that's good. And she starts right up. That's what methanol does. All right, that was a major success. We have the engine cranked up. It's running. We got one full heat cycle in this thing, and now it is time to go get a charge pipe. So now we got this new BTR intake, which is sick. Thanks to BTR. Shout out to those guys. They are a huge part of this build, and I'm gonna get into that a little bit later. But now we need a charge pipe to go from the turbo to the intake. So we're gonna take this thing over to Taylor's. I'm like, hey, can you fab up a charge pipe one night? He's like, duh. We're headed over there. Another thing that we don't have is a throttle cable bracket, and there's no good place for one on here. So I don't know exactly. I don't have a gas pedal essentially, so I'll put it on like a high idle, so it should idle high. Maybe I can just drive it in the trailer like that. Honestly, this thing is not fun to push. So if the high idle idea does not work, Austin had an idea, and it's honestly great, and it's right up my alley in this channel. And we're gonna put him sitting right here on the front of this crash bar and let him be my pedal. A little whop whop, whop whop. I'll be like, a little more whop whop. Let's get it. Hey, bing bong.
Beautiful.
I can't believe that worked so well.
Like a glove.
We have made it to Taylor's. It is 9:30 at night, and he has to be at work at 5 in the morning. So, hey, can you fix this?
Yeah.
They just had this thing running just a while ago. Put some professional tunes on it.
Oh yeah.
Y'all know the deal. We're here to get a fab pipe charged up. That's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna get a fab pipe charged up, and that way we can make it to Texas 2K. I don't know if you guys realize, but it's been a long couple of days for me with minimal sleep. So we're gonna get this thing charged up and then check back in with you when it's done. All right, she's done. Yep, just like that.
Ram air.
Roscoe made it. It don't look bad. Not too shabby. He actually already had these pieces just like laying on the floor too, and they just happen to be the right ones. The man doing some wiring.
Yeah. Can't keep no good wire loom.
You done it. Look, it is 12:42. It's another late night. His shop closes at 10:30, but I usually keep him out too late. Charge pipe looks great. We also made this throttle cable bracket. Sorry, BTR, we had to weld your intake. I do apologize, but we had the best doing it, so it'll be all right. We're gonna get this thing loaded up. The last thing before 2K. Oh God, I just remembered that I have to completely disassemble this thing and retorque the heads. It's gonna be a long night.
Why don't we just drive it in?
Because you forgot to put fuel in it, or bring fuel from my shop. You forgot it.
Damn pit crew guys.
We're good?
Yeah, come on. Poor starter.
Poor stuff. Hey, that is a freaking AutoZone reman. Hey, life hack. If you don't have a winch in your trailer, you can always use your starter to get the car up in there. As long
as the trans and the rear ain't busted.
yeah, as long as the trans and the rear end are good and the motor's not locked up, you can use your starter. You gotta love that, man. That is great.
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Hey, that looks dope in the light.
Yeah.
She said I wanna live faster, faster. And it's getting on my last nerve, but I love a good girl with the bad curve. So I hit the brake, hit the gas, swerving for the record. I damn near wrecked that shit. Never had the road get wet that quick. Fucking on the hood, we gon' dent that shit. And I don't think insurance will protect that shit. I'm off a 30 milligram, I pop it like a Skittle. I know that's a lot, but